Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Monday, January 12th, 2015, around 7:05 in the morning, Berwick, Massachusetts. It's a little bit light rain and freezing rain and snow and stuff, but it's not going to amount to that much in this area, but still be careful. There's a winter weather advisory in effect. Some news to report. It's baseball's true home run king, Hank Aaron, is part of a group to buy the NBA Atlanta Hawks, and it's Happy National Youth Day in India. India's the home country of D. Patel last week. No bus. And it's also 46 years ago today, Joe Namath led the New York Jets to the Super Bowl by beating the Baltimore Colts. And 44 years ago today was the classic television series All in the Family made its debut on CBS. And also it's happy 64th birthday to Rush Limbaugh, talk show host, and happy 60th birthday to Howard Stern, the king of all media. No, happy 61st birthday to Howard Stern, the king of all media. He's going to get a video blog later on this week or next week or whenever. And that's about it on that. My next subject is the continuation list of the top 10 greatest everything and anything. I've reached the top 10 Houston Astros players of all time. The Astros has been a franchise in Major League Baseball since 1962. They were called the Colt 45ers from 62 to 65. Then they changed their name to the Astros. They've been the Astros ever since. They played in the National League for 50 years, but they moved to the American League in 2013. Here are the top 10 greatest Astros players of all time. Number 10 on the all-time list of greatest Astros players of all time, second baseman Joe Morgan. Joe had two stints of duty for the Astros. He batted .261, 72 home runs, 327 RBIs, and 972 hits. He comes in at number 10, number 9 on the all-time list of greatest Astros players of all time. Bill Doran. Bill played second base for the Astros in the 80s. He had a .267 career average, 69 home runs, 404 RBIs, and 1,139 hits. He comes in at number 9. Number 8 on the all-time list of greatest Astros players of all time, Kevin Bass, outfielder. He was an all-star for the Astros back in the 80s, .278 career average, 87 home runs, 468 RBIs, and 990 hits. He comes in at number 8. Number 7 on the all-time list of greatest Astros players of all time, Glenn Davis, first baseman. He batted .262, 166 home runs, 518 RBIs, and 795 hits. He was the runner-up in the 1986 National League Most Valuable Player, which was won by Mike Smith that year. Number 6 on the all-time list of greatest Astros players of all time, shortstop Craig Reynolds. Craig had a career average of .252, 32 home runs, 300 RBIs, and 860 hits. He comes in at number 6. Number 5 on the all-time list of greatest Astros players of all time, Jose Cruz, outfielder. He was a great Gold Glove player for the Astros, .292 career average, 138 home runs, 942 RBIs, and 1,937 hits. He comes in at number 5. Number 4 on the all-time list of greatest Astros players of all time, Lance Berkman. Lance was part of the Killer Bees lineup for the Astros back in the 2000s, .296 career average, 326 home runs, 1,190 RBIs, and 1,648 hits. And I wouldn't be surprised if number 17 is retired to the Raptors at Minute Maid Park in the near future. Number 3 on the all-time list of greatest Astros players of all time, Jimmy Toy Cannon Wynn. He was an outfielder first baseman for the Astros back in the 60s and 70s. .255 career average, 223 home runs, 719 RBIs, and 1,291 hits. He comes in at number 3. Number 2 on the all-time list of greatest Astros players of all time, Craig Biggio, catcher, second baseman, outfielder, .281 career average, 291 home runs, 1,175 RBIs, and 3,060 hits. He got voted into the Hall of Fame this year, which was well deserved, and he's the first Astros player to get a plaque in the Baseball Hall of Fame. And number 1 on the all-time list of greatest Astros players of all time, Jeff Bagwell. Jeff had a career average of .297, 449 home runs, 1,529 RBIs, 2,314 hits. And Jeff Bagwell should be in the Hall of Fame. He was one of the best first basemen of the 90s and 2000s. 1994, National League Most Valuable Player. But he's only got maybe hovering around 55-56% of the Hall of Fame vote every year. There's suspicions he used PEDs, but he passed every PED test, as I know, and stuff like that. But one of these days he'll be in the Hall of Fame, and that's about it on the Astros pitchers. Tomorrow will be about the Astros players. Tomorrow will be about the Astros pitchers. And later on in the day, my first video blog of the WWE Royal Rumble, the 1988 Royal Rumble review from Cops Coliseum in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. I'll tell you about that later on today, and I'll tell you about the third and final video blog tonight, which will be about the Bob Newhart show. Personality profiles, taking a couple of days off. I'll be back Wednesday, and I'll be back later on. Have a good day, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Bye now.